Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct. It's a Thursday night. Y'all know what it is, January 23rd, 2025. We're here, man, to talk some sports tonight, man. We got a lot on tap tonight, man. But before we talk about that, a couple of calls to action. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the notification, hit the bell, so you can get all the wonderful notifications that we got coming, man. And also on the podcast side, you're going to do what? Give us that 5-star review for all those that can hear me in the sound of my voice, man. So like I said, welcome to all those that's on YouTube, that's on Instagram, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitch, X, all that great stuff, man. So with that said, let's meet the crew. D-Dubs, good evening. How are you today, sir?
What up, man? Thursday night, Sports Chasers Podcast. Glad to be here. Man, it's cold out here, bro. It's cold out here in the South. And yeah, I need some more vitamin C. I need some. I'm taking it every day, man, but I got to load up. They said elderberry, zinc, some other stuff going on, but yeah, it's a little cold.
We're a podcast that also offers home remedies, man, for those that got cold. Make sure you're drinking some hot tea and some water, some fluids, man.
I got your home remedy right here. You get some insurance, you go to a doctor, and you get some antibiotics. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I got scared there for a second, but
I'm right, man. I'm right as rain, bro. Right as rain.
Oh man, they say it's cold. Yeah, it's cold. What was it? New Orleans got some snow the other day. They never get snow down there. That's crazy.
Atlanta was skating down the street, boy. Driving in the cars.
It was wild seeing Florida with the snow out there.
Yeah,
I was like, what in the world?
Don't matter. They ain't gonna play no football out there. Tallahassee ain't got nothing going on. So.
All right, bro.
Okay. 0-13. That's what people gonna say about you, right?
Yeah.
What we do for you?
Man, let's get into some of the what's happening in sports since we last convened on this past Monday. Let me read this here from Yahoo Sports. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews, he comes out of silence on Sunday. The Baltimore Ravens lost to the Buffalo Bills in the AFC division round, failing just short in a brutal 2-point loss. Ravens fans quickly pointed fingers at right tight end Mark Andrews, who tough gains accumulated in a drop pass on what would have been a game-tying 2-point conversion. 5 days later, Andrews addresses his errors in an Instagram post on Thursday, saying that he had needed a few days to reflect. In a statement, Andrews took responsibility for his mistakes, saying that he was absolutely gutted by his role in the loss. He says this, and it's impossible to adequately express how I feel. I'm absolutely gutted by what happened on Sunday. I'm devastated for my teammates, my coaches, and Ravens fans. Andrews wrote, I pour every ounce of my being into playing at the highest level possible because I love my team in the game of football like nothing else. That is why it's taken me until now to collect my thoughts and address this publicly. Even though the shock and disappointment are unlike anything I've felt before, I refuse to let the situation define me. I promise that this adversity will only make me stronger and fuel us as we move forward. The game was a difficult performance for the 3-time Pro Bowler, and in addition to the 2-point drop, Andrews dropped the pass in the first half. He also fumbled a would-be first down catch in Bills territory in the final 10 minutes of the game, which led to a Buffalo field goal. D-Dubs, you had something to say about Mark Andrews the other day? What you got to say about the man is contrite.
I don't know why he's going into a witness protection program, dog. I mean, you dropped the ball. That's what it was. You dropped the ball. So what? Okay. You was, again, like I said, you was part of the reason of the loss, man. I'm not just blaming it all on you. You're just you're a portion of it. and I think that's fair. Along with Lamar, along with the coach, 3 phases. So I think that it was warranted. I don't understand what all the going to hiding. I'm not sure what we why he had to do that. All he had to do was just after the night, the game is over. I understand emotional, his emotion after the game, whatever. So I'll give him that. So but damn, it's almost a whole week just about before he start. But shout out to Mark Andrews. He it is what it is. Come back next year better, bigger, stronger. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? I don't understand why this is. He's a professional athlete, man. This is what happens. But go ahead.
Win, lose, or draw. DA, thoughts on Mark Andrews?
Yeah, man, I'm with you on this one, man. We in a passive aggressive world. So passive aggressive, you can't say I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to apologize to yourself for telling yourself you was wrong. You know what I mean? So you take too much time to do what you got to do. I don't want to tell them I was wrong. I knew I was wrong, but I didn't feel wrong, and I feel bad about that. I know how to feel about being wrong. Dog, I dropped the pass and I fumbled the ball and we lost. I will try not to do this next year. That's it. No more, no less. It's 80 people took that L.
Yeah.
80 people took that L. Right? So I don't get on Lamar. I don't get on anyone. He played a good game, but he did admit and understand that his errors in the beginning of the game, right? Because causation, I'm big on that. If you didn't fumble early, you wouldn't have to make a comeback late, right? So those things he has to learn. Those are pieces of the pie. Play calling still has something to do with it. I think there's still something very, very, very internal with that team that's wrong, right? Because they still have a penchant for having the wrong plays at the wrong time, like obvious running downs. Like, I don't, walk into the end zone. Well, I'm gonna pass it. The dog, come on, stop.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stop that too. So and that comes from the owner telling Harbaugh, listen, man, let your coordinators do what they do, and then when they're wrong, you can fire them. But if you step your foot in that pie, then it muddies up who's wrong, right? If Lamar's putting the audible in on the call that you made or someone made and it doesn't work out, then you can jump on him. But we got to have a direct line, to these issues so we can solve them. We can fix them. There has to be a root cause, and we have to be able to see exactly where it happened. And once we figure out where it happened at, then we can fix it.
Mm-hmm. Right
now, they just can't do that because it's too many opinions and too much. You know what? Maybe there's not. Maybe they know, and they're just being like, they're being a team and not letting it out the locker room, which is fine with me. I don't need to have it on. So it's all good.
We'll move on to the next story. Shout out to all those in the comments. Shout out to Debbie in the comments. Shout out to moms in the comments. Shout out to you, all those in Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Also, thank you. Appreciate you. Let me move on to the next story. Yahoo Sports. Also, on Monday, news broke that the Chicago Bears were hiring Ben Johnson as their new head coach. On Tuesday, it became official. The Bears introduced Johnson virtually on social media, then in person at Hallis Hall. Johnson made his first public appearance as head coach at Bears headquarters to a warm reception with general manager Ryan Poles behind him. Johnson walked into the lobby as staffers lined up to greet him with cheers and applause. Johnson then addressed the building while flanked by his wife, Jessica, and their 3 children. He says, my family and I were beyond excited. Johnson said, this is exactly where we want to be. It is exactly where we want it to be. This is going to be a challenge. I'm well aware of that. I know what this division is about, and this is exactly what we want to be. We're going to go after this thing, and it's going to take all of us in this room. It's going to take this locker room. It's nothing more important than that locker room and us serving that locker room and those players. They need to understand that they need to feel that from us every single day. Johnson then promised what eluded the Bears for so long and what he's now tasked to produce. If we do that, the wins are going to come. Johnson continued, the playoffs are going to come. Then it goes on, and this article is from, meant to give the credits from Jason Owens, staff writer at Yahoo Sports. Let me get my take on this real quick. Ben Johnson, as y'all know, if you don't know, he was the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, and the Lions just got sent home by the Washington Commanders this past Saturday evening. He had a choice of jobs to take. On this show, we call organizations, we list them to excellent to trash organizations, and I believe we had the Bears listed as trash organization, but not a great job, but not a bad job either. I think they can work it, but if they get past the stuff with the owners of the Chicago Bears. Might have to have somebody on from Chicago. I got somebody I know. Probably have to have him on to bring us some more enlightenment, man. But I think this is a good choice with the Bears. He of course said Coach Johnson said that he was going to implement the playbook exactly for Caleb Williams, which we say all the time. We don't understand why you try to cookie cutter fit quarterbacks to what you want instead of doing it to their schemes or how they play. For the life of me, I don't understand that. I only played football at a high school level. So who am I? I don't know. D-Dubs, your thoughts? Your mic is muted, sir.
Your mic. I'm muted. I know. I heard it. I got you. I thought Ben Johnson was he's been the most sorted out coach so far this year. So maybe it might be a good thing for the Bears to But again, they hired him. He was a good offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He's been with Detroit since 2022.
Correct.
Finished with the top 4 in the total offense in the last 3 seasons. So, his resume looks pretty good. But again, that don't mean nothing. He gets to work with a second year quarterback in Caleb Williams. So it's pretty much we'll see. He made Jared Goff look pretty good. It's Goff, right? Yeah, Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff. That's because Mike Mills has you saying those different names. That's why.
Yeah, get me confused, man. So, but he came in there with I seen a little press conference the other day. He came in there with a lot of energy. Of course, it's a new day. So we'll see, man. It's only history will tell the story. Time will tell.
Gotcha. DA, thoughts on?
Once there were 2 mice who became friends at Mouse College. One was from the city, the other from the country.
Project.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's my art project.
Oh, that's what you was doing over there.
Did you read that?
Come on, son.
Come on, son. Come on, son. You get up there with the same speech. Oh, we're gonna all row the boat together. We're gonna do this. The whole team. We're gonna get the locker room and pull together.
A rising tide raise all ships.
We're gonna shut up, man. It is a bad job with a bad organization. All right, that's what it is. And there's some funky, stinky meat in the back of the refrigerator that needs to be thrown out. You get that thing in the garbage can. Damn, something in my kitchen stink. And you walk around your kitchen like, oh, golly, that cheese casserole. Oh, it's something. Listen, man.
Not the cheese casserole.
It's bad, man. So you get rid of Fields, right? Because he's no good, evidently.
Right.
And then you bring in all these offensive weapons to get around Caleb. And they get there and essentially the same record as we had before, right? I don't think the guy's a bad coordinator at all, right? But I always I measure it. Excuse me. Excuse me. I measure it, right? A coordinator is always going to look good if they got great players. He had great offensive players around him. He had 2 or 3 wide receivers that were right. He had Sonic the Hedgehog, and what's the other one? Yeah, Sonic and something.
Yeah.
Good offensive line. So yeah, the offensive coordinator is going to look good when you got players, right? So that's why I don't jump out you had players, so you're going to. I want to, the guy that's good is an offensive coordinator without no player that does it, that manufactures the offense. That who the heck is on that offense, right? Detroit has an offense, and I think they'll do fine. I think they have, it's more than just offense there in Chicago. That's the issue. They're going to have to get some defensive players and stop somebody from scoring, and he's going to have to develop Caleb. And that's the thing. I didn't think that Ben Johnson developed Jared Goff.
Okay.
Right. So if you say, okay, what is where did he take off at as a quarterback? I'm saying, where did he still throws the ball to the other team from time to time? He's still evidently seeing the wrong things. And now you got receivers. And the reality is that Jared Goff has always had a team around him. When he was with the Rams, they made it to the Super Bowl. He had a team. But he still had the propensity to still throw the ball to the other team. So I'm not sure he was really developed out there. You know what I mean? So, we can be looking for that to happen, but I haven't seen it happen. I wish everybody well. I am not the Grinch. So I'm just,
Not the Grinch. Come on, son. Let me go on to this next story here from CBS Sports, of course. Cody Benjamin. He's the writer of this article. The New York Jets have found their man. They're going back to their roots in the process. No, not with Rex Ryan, who repeatedly advocated for his second chance at the club's leader, but with Aaron Glenn, the team's former Pro Bowl cornerback and more recently Detroit Lions defensive coordinator, who on Wednesday agreed to succeed Robert Saleh and interim Jeff Ulbrich as the Jets' next coach. The team announced on Wednesday Glenn gets a 5-year deal, according to ESPN. Glenn, 52, notably began his NFL career with the New York Jets back in 1994, arriving as a first-round draft pick out of Texas A&M and spending 8 years as a Jets defensive back. He totaled 36 pass breakups, of course, 120 starts for Gang Green, and still ranks fourth in team history with 24 career interceptions. He becomes the fifth NFL head coach to have a playing history with his current team after Mike Vrabel, Jim Harbaugh, DeMarco Ryans, and Dan Campbell, most recently in Detroit. After playing for the Jets from 1994 to 2001, then serving stints with the Texans, Jaguars, Cowboys, Saints, Glenn returned to the Jets as a personnel scout to kick off his non-playing career in 2012, honored as a member of the Jets all-time four-decade team for his extended tenure in the organization. He grew traction as a head coaching candidate this offseason thanks to his player-friendly approach in Detroit, where he helped Campbell transform the Lions into one of the NFL's most formidable contenders. The Lions initially struggled under Glenn's direction, ranking 29th and 32 in total defensive during his first two seasons as coordinator, however, respectively, but vaulted into the top 20 during the 2023 season. When Detroit advanced to the NFC Championship, Glenn's unit then finished in the top 10 in both scoring defense and takeaways in 2024, despite the team enduring injuries and several key defenders, including the star pass rusher Agent Hutchinson. I'll say this about this. I'll say this a little bit. Well, you know what? No, I'll say this. Aaron Glenn, he did a great job, in my opinion, this year. Like the article alluded to, the Lions had a lot of people on their defensive side still missing, and they were still able to scheme and still able to get after the pass rusher and do this. Now that didn't happen this past game. Sometimes talent and stuff just catches up with you, man. But before we got on the show, the three of us, we were just saying the Jets have went defense again. Robert Saleh was coaching the Jets through the season, through 5, 7 games, 6 games? And they was number one or two. They was, excuse me, I'm sorry. They was number one.
Number one. Can't rest one.
In defense. And when he got let go, the Jets probably went down to 28-29.
Dudes ain't want to play. You fired their man.
So
agree.
I'm just saying, where do we? I think Aaron Glenn can coach, but I don't know. It's what you surround him with, and who you surround him, and who he picks as coordinators and things of that nature. And what do you do with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, you got to cut him.
Bingo.
They're going to cut him. Aaron Glenn's going to cut him.
Okay, who you going to bring in as quarterback?
It doesn't matter. It won't be no worse than the record they got now. It really not.
For a real talk, he's right. I mean, it doesn't. It really doesn't matter.
Got the same record as Zach Wilson. It didn't matter. It don't matter. You can let go him and Devontae. So y'all listen. We'll pay whatever. Now Devontae, if you want to stay out here and rock hard with us, we good. Pause. But if not, dog, you can go too. You can go too. Listen, we already on the hook for the money, man.
Facts.
You know? So I think this is a good move for Glenn and the Jets for this reason. Aaron Glenn has a plug-and-play defense. He don't have to worry about that. All he got to do is drop his scheme on them. They got D linemen, they got linebackers, and they got a secondary.
Yes.
He's good. All you got to do is keep dudes not hurt. Then he has to hire an offensive coordinator and said, "Yo, look, man, you have to come in here with an iron like Thor, with a hammer, and you got to run this, man. This has got to be your offense. Because if we lose, I'm going to put it on you. Right? I'm going to put it on you. Because you're the offensive coordinator. Bring in whatever you need. Quarterback coach, wide receiver coach, this coach. Do what you need to do. Let's in the all season, let's get jettison what we don't need. That's a issue. And then other than that, we can go. We're in the AFC East, man. We can do this. We can do this. Miami's about to fall apart. Tyreek trying to be out. Right? That's about to be a wrap. The reality is Josh Allen will will the Buffalo to get a lot of things, but they don't really have a good team. They ain't got a whole bunch of nice dudes out there at Buffalo. Josh Allen is letting him fall down and hurt his toe. They're out. You are always this close to winning that division, yo.
Facts.
And it's been that way since we was kids, fellas. Except for when Miami was really, really good. We had no chance. And then those years that Buffalo was really good, we had no chance. Well, not we, but the Jets had no chance. Yeah. So, it's a division that can be won every year. Every year. He just has to go in there and do what he do. Put the system in and make sure it works. That's all.
Gotcha. D-Dub's thoughts on Aaron Glenn becoming the new head coach of the New York Jets.
I agree with just about everything DA said. So just put a bow on that, right? Only thing, the defense is set, right? Other than a couple of pieces, I think everybody should be returning back. I don't think there's nobody.
Contracts are good. Yeah,
contract should be good,
solid.
right?
Yeah, everybody's solid.
So he's good right there with contracts and stuff like that. Now, offense is, again, offensive line and Aaron Rodgers. Figure out what's going on with that. I say get rid of Aaron Rodgers.
There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I say it's time. He's 41 years old. He's done. You're not going to get no more from him. He's not going to win the court. He's not going to win a Super Bowl for you.
Put him on McAfee. He's on McAfee.
Yeah, he's on McAfee every day. Let him go rock out with McAfee or go with RFK Jr. and figure out, whatever you want to figure out. Because he's not. I don't think he's really interested in football. He looked really good at last game of the year, and but it's time for that. It's time. All right, we need to go. They need to go either go free agency, go get a quarterback, or go draft one. That's it. Once he sets up, you still got Breece Hall. I don't know. I can't remember if he was injured still or not.
He'll be back, though.
He got back, right? You still got receivers. You're still the Jets is a good team, but they just gotta when they did all this stuff, it went into chaos. It went into really a 911 situation, and they couldn't. They never could. The cops never came.
Yeah,
EMS never came.
911 is a joke.
Nobody came to help him, and that's what you got. But
do the Jets try to sign Darnold?
It's a possibility. Anything again.
But
It's a possibility, and anything is good and better than what they got right now. And you got to get a younger quarterback. You can't be rocking out with this 41-year-old guy. Sorry.
That you're gonna teach. Get a young cat. Listen, man. Real talk. The one thing that people didn't think about last year, that's why I like Mike Tomlin, man, that he has is he can get up off both these quarterbacks for nothing, trade them, and get players for them, and draft something else. Shoot that.
What's the young kid? Justin Fields? Justin Fields is available?
If you are a coordinator that can teach, why can't you take Justin Fields who can run and can pass?
And coach him up.
Coach him up. So look,
you got to coach him up.
We only want you to throw the ball 15 times a game, but I'll give you 5 runs. Can we do that?
Because Aaron Glenn got everything on defense. His defense should be straight.
We're gonna
if he is what we seen him in Detroit, he's going to be a monster over here.
Yeah, because he had no players in Detroit.
Correct.
And that's the point I was making before, Kev, about the coordinators. That what can you do when you don't have your fast
players? Right.
You know what happens when you don't have the Aiden Hutchinson, and then the dude next to him.
Facts.
You know, he was bringing dudes off the street on a Sunday before, and they was getting sacks the next week.
Yes.
It's players first to give them their props, but it's also the system. He put dudes in the system where they were going to get sacks, or they were going to get this, or they were going to get a chance to do that. They were going to get free run at the quarterback. All those things are system are schemed. And, he could do that. So, I mean, I think the Jets would be fine. I hope. I think they got good players. I think he has to find an offensive coordinator. And if you got to spend money to get a real live dude, then go do that. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. Now, here's the only thing, Kev. I'm going to get off the Jets, right? The Jets have done Jet things. And this is the thing. They have went through – this is going to be now the third defensive-minded coach that they hired so far, right? So we went for Todd Bowles, you fired him. Salah, you fired him.
And Todd Bowles had a winning season when they got rid of him.
Right, correct. So now this just goes right back to Jets being trash organization. And all I could say is, God bless you, Aaron Glenn. I know you played for the Jets long time ago, I should say. But things ain't changed. This is the same. I hope you are able to be the one to make that change. But I doubt it because it's hard. It's hard.
Jets fans chime in wherever you at. Jets fans chime in.
Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. So I got no problem.
Why y'all can't win? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the Jets fans, they know they go into every season.
Yep.
Thinking, yes. And last 2 years they had, even I got caught up with the Aaron Rodgers train. I thought Aaron had turned a new leaf, and he was not trying to act like the smartest guy in the room. And this guy went right back to being the arrogant. What time? How much time we got in? We got. I'm not gonna drive. He's still the arrogant guy that he was. And
like you say, D used to tell us, you gotta believe your lying eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what he's showing us.
Yeah.
Right. And no matter what happens, he goes back to being what
reverse right back. It's like a crackhead. They tell you that, man, I ain't on that stuff no more. He bouncing around as he's telling you that. Right?
You dance around like Samuel Jackson. Come on, mama.
Gator.
Come on, mama.
Give me that. Come on, mama.
Mama, give me that.
Oh.
No. Get on a microphone and start flipping out, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So or you get on McAfee show and say something stupid. Listen, man, I'm not a professional athlete, and I say this all the time. I believe that Aaron Rodgers probably plays football better than I do everything. Breathe. But my thing is, dude, when you get out there and things aren't right, I don't know who your people are. I guess you ain't got no people because you just continue to say stupid things. If you perform on the field, you can say whatever the heck you want to say. But you have the same record as Matt Wilson, or whatever his name is.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson, man. Same record, man.
Shout out to Matt Wilson, whoever he made.
Yeah, whoever he is, Matt Wilson, working in the mail
exactly.
room. Working in the mail room.
Yeah.
You muted yourself, D. D, did you mute yourself? I didn't do it.
Yeah, I said, yeah, Matt. I'm sorry, Matt Wilson working 730 3rd Avenue in the mail room. My man.
Shout out.
Yeah, whoever you are. Yeah, but Zach Wilson had the same record, dude. For less. Why did you pay $15 for a loaf of bread and you got the same sandwiches for the $2 loaf of bread?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that equals trash organization.
Yeah, because it's like saying thoughts and prayers. No,
yeah.
You can keep your thoughts and your prayers because this organization ain't gonna get no better. I mean, probably not in our lifetime.
Yeah. They win Super Bowl, things are really gonna be different. They win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, facts.
Let me
shout
go
out
on to
shout
the
out
next.
To the Jet fans. Go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're good. Let me move on to the next thing. I'm pretty sure DA will be definitely on these next two things. Ohio State, they won the national championship on Monday. I know we didn't really talk about it. We previewed it. I'll just read it and I'll tell you my thoughts about it. Coach Ryan Day shuts the critics. Running back Quishon Judkins, scored 3 touchdowns, and the number 8 seed Ohio State Buckeyes held off a furious second half rally to beat number 7 seed Notre Dame 34-23 to win the college football playoff national championship. In its run through the first ever 12-team college football playoff, the Buckeyes became just the 5th team in the AP poll era to win a national title despite not winning their conference. It is Ohio State's first national championship since 2014 and the first for Day, who faced a mountain of criticism after the Buckeyes lost their 4th consecutive game to Michigan back in November. Ohio State quarterback Will Howard was terrific, finishing with 2 touchdown passes and completing 14 of his first 15 passes. Offensive coordinator Chip Kelly called a masterful game, never forced anything, and yet still getting basically anything and everything the Buckeyes wanted against Notre Dame defense that entered Monday's title game, only giving up 14.3 points per game. Notre Dame got off to an early 7-0 lead and an impressive yet grueling 18-play touchdown drive to open the game, in which quarterback Riley Leonard ran the ball 9 times. Leonard was so exhausted after the drive, he threw up on the sideline, but the Buckeyes took control and from there and scored 4 touchdowns on the first 4 offensive drives. The first time has been done in national championship history. Let me give you my list. Hold on, D, because I know you're gonna be a little long.
Yeah, just go. Please.
I watched, and me and D Dubs, we was texting back and forth. We was texting by the crew, but me and him, I said D was like, "Yo, I'm about to be out on this one." He says, "Ohio."
I was. Okay. I ain't no about. I was, but go ahead.
Yeah, this game was really nothing, and the article, and all the articles I read, the links will be in the description. They try to think that Notre Dame made a game of it. I never thought that Notre Dame was going to win this game. I never did. Even did with this ferocious comeback. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
No, there's no way I thought Ohio State was head and shoulders over them. And for all you Ohio State fans, congratulations. But I know Ryan Day is still on the clock because he hasn't beat Michigan. So
that's a fact. Yeah.
If you don't beat Michigan again next year, what happens?
Hey man, they start looking at you crazy again.
Even though some Ohio State fans will say, "Oh no, we got love for Ryan Day." No, I promise you, if he didn't win,
hey, he ain't got love for y'all. How about that?
Yeah, the chance.
Go ahead,
the chance will start. But go ahead, D.
I say, man, how about he ain't got no love for y'all? Y'all trying to fire me every damn year. Okay, y'all see. When something good comes, I'm going to go. Right? Every year they're trying to fire him. But I got a few things, man. First off,
go ahead.
Notre Dame, Coach Freeman, right? Freeman, that's his last name? Notre Dame coach?
You talking about Notre Dame? Yes, yeah. Freeman.
Congratulations on getting there. The reason why you kept teams to 14 points a game is because you played nobody the whole year. So, cipher sounds, let's not get gassed. All right, Cypher Sounds. Don't get gassed, Cypher Sounds. Don't get gassed. All right. The reason Notre Dame held teams to 14 points a game is because they played nobody the whole year. Period. Point blank. Period. And that's how that goes. Right. They have a bad offense, and I said that all year. That's why they had to run Riley Leonard 9 times on the first drive because they could do nothing else. And damn near killed that kid. And then after he did that, guess what they did? Nothing for a whole half. Right? So, yes, they did make a run. Not going to say a comeback because, like you, I went to bed because I didn't think there was any way that they were going to come back and beat Ohio State because Ohio State just got different dogs. They spent $22 million on dogs this year. So they have a crew there. Now, how Ryan Day coaches and what he does, he won. I think he's a good coach. I always have. I think dude's only lost 4 games in 5-6 years or something stupid like that. So, head coaches are not growing on trees. It's just not that easy for you to get another one. So you can fire him if you want.
Chip Kelly's there.
Yeah. Let me step to my man. No? I got him on my sheet here, homie. Congratulations, Chip Kelly. You rat bastard. I had to check the time, man. I got no love for that man. I got no respect for. I mean, I respect him as what he does as a coordinator. I don't have any. I really, really am not sure from a perspective of being a good person. What he is, man. Because this will be the second time that dude sat down in front of kids and bounced on them. All right, so he sat down in front of kids as a coach of UCLA. Right, because he was the coach of UCLA up until damn near the season, and then he just left and said, man, I'm tired of this NIL. I can't do this no more. I can't do that no more. Yada 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 yada. I'm going to Ohio State and get this bag over here. I don't have to worry about much. I know how much I'm paying. Do that, and I'm doing this. That's beautiful. That's but just know, and I know. And you know that you sat down in front of maybe 50 families and told them you're going to take their son and take care of their son. That's what you said, and then you bounced. Ain't nothing I can say to that. I'm sorry. I'm never going to agree with that. And that's why I'm all for the kids leaving NIL, portal, do whatever you want to do. Because as long as coaches can still do this, nah, we not. No.
And they're doing it.
Oh, they're doing it hard. Like coaches are leaving in the middle of games, damn near. What? I'm out. Come on, man. Oh, and yeah, and before when Chip Kelly was in college, he left before a bowl game. I use his facts. Before the bowl game, I'm out.
You're right.
So, with that being said, congratulations to Ohio State. They have a good team. This was probably a horrible, in my estimation. I think there was one good game throughout this whole GD tournament that I thought was a good game, competitive on both sides. That was the Texas-Arizona State game. That was a good game.
Yes, I agree.
The Ohio State, and maybe it had, Ohio State, like I said, 22 million, good team, and they beat the crap out of everybody in the SEC. So you know what? The SEC going to have to put on their big boy pants or bigger boy pants and step up. That's all. I'm not here to apologize for nobody. They got dealt with. I kind of think the ACC probably didn't belong in there at all because, when you just look at the numbers, man, like how is Ohio State 8? Like this is like the lottery or something, man. I'm confused by the winning numbers. So they 8-7, but Ohio State was only lost to Oregon the whole year.
No, Ohio State had 2 losses.
They had 2 losses. Then they lost the Michigan game. But listen, you take that, but they still wasn't an 8.
Well, they're 8th because of the way it's set up.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, Ryan. It's not right. It's not right. I guess they'll figure it out at 14 teams, right? They'll just do better. We'll do better next year.
Yeah, and the reports are saying that it's not going to change this coming season. They're going to keep it the way it is. Yeah,
they're going to. And I will go on this note. They will either come to a critical mass and mess this whole thing up, or people will just take it like, yeah, that's cool. Because I'm not sure how they come up with this stuff that they're doing. And yeah, listen, Kev was right. He got me on it. He gave me the BCS, what it would have been. And I'm like, oh crap. Well, D, maybe you bugging out. And I can take that because I can't be right till I'm wrong. So I'm good with it. But I'm just saying, man, these teams ain't playing nobody for a whole season. And I'm not sure how that, at least when I was a kid, you didn't put teams up that high that didn't play anybody.
Well,
when it was the AP and the whatever, what was the other one? I'm sorry, Ron, I'll let you go. It was the AP and there was another poll, coaches poll, AP, right? And back in the day, right? So if you didn't play anybody, you ain't get no props.
Right.
That's why during the season you would have a Oklahoma Notre Dame game, a UCLA this game, an Alabama that game, and you're like, oh shoot, this is a good game on. Something getting this good. Come on, man. Come on, listen.
But the way the playoffs turned, shaped out to be and turned out, when we say nobody's playing nobody, I think there's a lot of because of the NIL, there's a lot of parity in teams now. So what conferences we thought was super conferences and things of that nature, I mean, you already mentioned what the SEC did, right? They flopped.
Yeah,
they flopped.
They laid an egg, man.
And that was quote unquote the best conference. They're still gonna have the most players going to the NFL. But I really believe we got to start getting away from that. Nobody's playing anybody. I mean, it just is what it is, because when they match up, a SEC team can lose, an ACC team can lose.
To me, it's not the conference, man. And I understand what you're saying, because the parity is there, right? Because the game is flattening out because kids are not, and this has been going on for years, right? Of
course,
kids are not sitting around like Miami, being Portis, waiting for Gore and this one to graduate.
Yeah,
bouncing to go play like right away, right?
Right.
That's what's happening. Which forces coaches to now bring these kids on and coach, like for real. Make sure these kids are in the system, integrated, doing what they're doing, right? So it's a change for everyone. But the point I make is that you can't go a whole season playing Boston College and this and that, not playing anyone, and then ranking you. Like back in the days, because it gives people a false sense that the team is good. Like they did that with, and I have it on paper. I got the receipts. They had Indiana as the third-ranked team the week before they got blown out by Ohio State, and I was like, y'all know Indiana hasn't played anybody this year, right? Y'all,
right, but they're playing in their conference, though. I mean, if it's a power conference, it's a power. It's not their fault that
it's a power conference, but they didn't play a winning team the whole season.
Oh, you mean that they're not scheduling any good out of conference games?
I mean,
is that the beat? Because
they just didn't play any winning teams.
The conference is the conference.
You do your schedule up 3 years before, so you don't know teams are going to be bad.
True.
But it's a roll of the dice, homie. It's a roll of dice. If you play all losing teams, I don't have a litmus test of how good you really are. Because then when you play Ohio State and get smacked, you're like, oh, okay, I thought they wasn't any good.
Well,
and it turned out not to be any good. So you got to play winning teams and losing teams. That's all I'm saying.
Well, then this format is the right format then, because then now we see who's the winning teams are. You know what I'm saying? When we play the 12 team, or it's gonna go to 14 teams. So now we'll see who is the best. You know what I'm saying? If there's any disparity on if you didn't play anybody or not, you get the opportunity to either win or get your ass or get your butt kicked. You know what I mean?
I think they also need to bring down the number of games, man, because I gotta do, and I'm not gonna. I may see if I can get him on, but he used to play in South Carolina. And he told me, man, He said the reason why it don't work for the SEC, he said because it's too many games. He said we got
12?
a gauntlet. We got a gauntlet. He said by the time you get to that and the playoffs, he said it's a gauntlet for us. We know we lost teams. South Carolina already lost 2 or 3 games.
Right, but
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
So
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
He's just saying that by the time, say they made it. He said by the time they got to Ohio State, it had been 15 games of playing real competition, whereas Ohio State only played Penn State and Michigan.
That's
the whole
the
year.
conference, man. That's the conference.
I understand.
I mean, like, what are we gonna do? I mean,
I don't know. I know what they should do, but they're not going
right.
to do it.
But
so, just make.
But DA, I will also right. But DA, I will also, take it from this angle, right? Yeah, the SEC always seems like to play the toughest teams, the hardest, the strength of schedule, but they also get if 2 teams got the same record, the SEC always gets the benefit of the doubt. And we'll all right. So that's the positives and the negatives with it. You go through the SEC gauntlet, you'll get the benefit of the doubt. If you don't have 3 losses, Alabama had 3 losses, so that's why
I just think that they got to find a way. And maybe you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. My thing is that at least the people on the committee have to come out and explain how they're weighing RPI, right? We don't know. Like we don't know as a consumer watching this product, what do you guys care about Kevin played, 1 week Alabama, then next week he played Vanderbilt, which, was not a bad team. Then he played Michigan, and then he played USC, and then he came back home and played Georgia, right? And you're like, damn, that's pretty strong there, Kev. We're going to give you an A for that. That's a pretty strong schedule. Win-loss, even if you lost a game, it don't look too bad. But I just wasn't sure when they came up with this format why teams' numbers were here, why certain teams got buys and other teams didn't that were clearly better. The better teams should get the bye, clearly better in the season. And they won their conference. They were the conference champ.
That's the way it's set up, yeah.
But they're not a better team.
Gets the buys. But that's just the way it's set up. That's the format.
And this is why I'm saying that we don't need to have buys for conferences. We need to have buys for teams. It's a better team, they get a buy.
So have the buy according to the rankings, the last rankings of the ranking. Yeah. So
and then I think, and Kev had one more point, and I'm gonna be quiet on it. Is we got to keep these games have got to be in neutral places. You can't have college playoff games in somebody's home turf. You can't do that
because
it's not fair. It's not fair.
Totally agree.
You can't get your fans in there, because everybody's buying their thing and the weather, the this, the that. It's just not. It's not. Listen, man, you got these stadiums all over the place, and let's keep it 100. The people that can afford to go to these bowl games are going any freaking way. So if Penn State's playing in Arizona somewhere, I'm sure the Penn State folks would rather go out to Arizona where it's nice and hot, get drunk, have fun, turn it up, watch the game, than be out there with 0 degrees in Penn State. Now, they won the game, and it's fine. And maybe SMU didn't deserve to be there. They didn't. But daggone, them catching SMU was like, damn, it's cold out here. They ain't even thinking about the game,
I think it's more logistics why they do that in the earlier rounds where the higher ranked teams gets the home field. I think it's more about logistics because it's only so many football stadiums that you can book out so far in advance. You see what I'm saying?
Arizona's never going to be good. The Cardinals are never going to be good. You can always use that stadium, right? Because they're never going to be playing no damn body, right?
But you don't know that.
You go down to Florida and do something.
Right, so you don't know that.
I've seen that. I've seen it, unfortunately. And then you got, and I'm not saying you just want to have in California this, that, and the third, because everybody gets butt hurt because the games are not on the East Coast. So what? The games were never on the East Coast. They never had the Orange Bowl in the Bronx. What are we doing here? This is supposed to be pageantry. It's supposed to be for the game. It's supposed to be so people come watch a good game, let it happen, all the pageantry, all the rest of that. It ain't for it to be fair to, man. No, let's just have the neutral site games. All right. You got to make these things fair. If you want to have these lower seeded teams from these Power 5 conferences and all the rest of that, you got to give them something, man. You got to give them something. Because these kids aren't used to playing. A lot of these kids, yes, they're D1 kids. Right? But they're not D1 Ohio State. They don't have a stadium with 100,000 people. Like, they're not used to that, man. And I can see it in the game. That first weekend, me and Kev talked about it. You can see it, man. You can see it. So
I'm gonna let Ryan get his last
football. What's that, bro?
And I'm gonna let Ryan get his last point. I actually was gonna read something real quick from college. So go ahead, Ryan.
No, you good. I'm good. Yeah.
Read. Let me get.
I'm good, brother.
And this was kind of what y'all was talking about. This is from CBS Sports again. Chip Patterson. He says this: the Ohio State football program captured the first national championship. Is this what I want to read? Is this what I want to listen? Oh, yes, it is what I want to read. Just like 2014, there was a lot to learn about how the new bracket and postseason format will impact the sport during the season, and especially in those final weeks of the conference titles races. The new CFB absolutely did its job to keep more fan bases invested in the pursuit of the national championship. Access to towards winning a national championship has never been as abundant, and that was reflected by the fact that there was nearly 2,000 teams still had a shot to make the final bracket deep into November. As for the playoff itself, if you believe in the all's well that ends well theory, then we have reached a conclusion not that far from where the sport started back in August. Ohio State was a top 2 team coming into a season based on a roster that both retained potential pros and also added All-American talent through the transfer portal. That expanded CFB opened the door for 2 lost teams to remain in the hunt, and the Buckeyes utilized that opportunity better than anyone else. Tell the tale of Ohio State's season in a vacuum that reflects well on the 12-team format, but just because the bracket produced a worthy and observant champion does not mean that there aren't some issues that should be addressed by the sports decision makers moving forward. Zoom out of that from Ohio State alone, it's more interesting picture that where the 12-team format delivers some epic scenes on the campus for first-round games and pave the path and playoff runs that will be remembered for a generation as Penn State and Notre Dame. But seeing the bracket play also brought some second-guessing for a format, disconnecting seeds from rankings and awarding favorable positions to conference champions. The fact that conference champions went 0-5 in the CFP also heightened the conversation around the future of conference championship games. Both of the national title game participants did not even play for a conference championship. In early December, and Ohio State became just the 4th team in the title game era since 1998 to win it all without winning their conference. The good teams win, he says, if you cover up the school names and knew very little about the process of the format in 2024-2025, CFP has the appearance of bracket-busting chaos with an 8 seed taking down the 7 seed in the title game. But in reality, there was not a single Cinderella to be found, and the closest thing that there was to an upset was Notre Dame beating Penn State 27-24 in the Orange Bowl semifinal as a 1.5-point underdog. Betting Fairies won 10 of the 11 games in the college football playoff, not only advancing as projected, but going 9-2 against the spread as well. CBS Sports senior writer Dennis Dodd stood behind his chalky picks when the Field of 12 was first announced in early December, and now he stands as the only expert to put together the perfect bracket. So Mr. Dodd looks like he put together. Then just read this real quick. The format is flawed. He says, consider the early point about betting favorites about 10-1 in the first year of the 12-team CFP. These results were aided by a bracket format that allowed lower-ranked teams to achieve higher seeds based on the automatic buys provided to conference champions. This disassociation between seeding and rankings was confusing for some fans to follow during the season. the regular season and end up creating an imbalance in the bracket that worked against the top two teams in the field. Number one, Oregon was the only undefeated team in the country, and after winning the Big Ten, its reward was facing eventual national champ Ohio State. Georgia emerged from its toughest schedule in years as SEC champion, and they squared off against the eventual runner-up Notre Dame in its first CFP game. If we use the AP Top 25 as an objective reference here, that's the number one team facing the number 16 is a quarterfinal round that would usually produce a number 8 or number 9 seed. Even more telling is the poor draw that Georgia, which is the number 2 seed, should face a number 7 seed or the 10th seed. But Notre Dame had to square off with the number 3 team in the country, according to the AP. So it goes on about this. Pretty much what Dorian and the DA and Ryan was talking about. This needs some fixing or twerking, so to speak. And some more
twerking. You mean tweaking?
Where's your mind at, brother?
Twerking, bro.
That's great. That's great. That's good.
Pause.
Yo, man, I think you mean tweaking.
No pause.
I think you mean tweaking.
That's great.
No, we ain't Megan Stallion. None of that shit up here, okay, sir? We're a family show, okay, brother?
Hey.
Over here twerking on the mind, brother.
I read way too much today. Tweaking.
Yes, sir.
D-Dubs, your thoughts on this year college football, the playoff and all that, your thoughts. This is pretty much what Dennis Dodd was wrapping up.
I really don't got too much on it, Kev. You know my feelings about college football and this whole, they got to get it right. This is, I mean, it's along with a whole lot of other things that, I guess they're trying.
They're going to 14 next.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that, man. I think it's just too much, man. I think we just should stop because everybody can't get in, and this is the era of everybody get a trophy thing, and it's still just continuing. Everybody can't get it, man, because first of all, everybody's not competitive enough. There's the balance that is such an imbalance in everything. Look at Ohio State. They had all the horses. They paid a lot of money. They got the players.
$2 million worth.
My thing is too, right? Yeah, my thing is too. They complained all the time about these horrible offenses, but these great defenses. But you left out the best offense in the nation. You could have Miami in there. Yeah, they're gonna give up a lot of points, but they ain't gonna get blown out.
Though, right?
They're gonna score. And they're gonna make it exciting, but you want to put in a team that can barely pass the ball, but yet you left Florida State out last year.
Correct.
They couldn't pass the ball.
Ryan, if you did the like you said, this is if they just did the ranking of the first 12 teams, Miami might have been in there.
They should have been in there.
A great game, but they did all the conference champions got. So we got to get the conference champions from the Big 12.
No,
correct.
No, don't
exactly.
need anybody from the Big 12 if they're not that good.
I think we talked about that.
Conference.
That's right.
Don't care. The conference isn't that good.
I need the best 12 teams. Period. The best 12 teams. And if we rank them that way, I don't care if you won the conference. I really don't care because it doesn't mean that. I just need the best 12 teams, and I want the best 12 teams in there that's going to compete. Period.
Right. Even
if
they want to throw up ACC, right? And they took it. Miami. And it's Clemson, SMU. Just like that. What's the first team you say you're taking? Miami. Because of their wins on the season. They had games that were exciting. Okay, we let Miami in. The other two you can flip a coin on. You either let one of them in or let neither one of them in. It would not have hurt the playoffs if both SMU and Clemson didn't go. You could put because those teams both lost.
Yeah.
You get that team in there.
Yo, what was that? What was that?
It was sick, bro. Yo, we all
that was almost as good as twerking.
All right. Yeah. Got it.
Oh my goodness, man!
But
But
to answer your
good.
question, college football guys, they got some fixing to do, and that's about it. But I don't agree with that 14-team thing. But it is what it is.
Well, it's going to 14
It's
next
gonna
year.
happen.
But
Get rid of it. Good.
but the, but the good thing is they had to play the games, and Oregon was ranked number 1, but they got blown out.
I mean,
so you weren't number 1. So
Strength of
if you'd have been competitive, I could have said, man, you had a tough break because of the conferences and so. But then we go strength of schedule though, DA, and then you see all the SEC teams losing, and they had the best strength of schedule.
Is like you don't get fooled by a school like Oregon that only played during the season. I don't think they played anybody else in their conference, but I mean good teams. But they only played Ohio State. I don't think they played Penn State. I don't think they played nobody else. I don't think they played Michigan. They played Ohio State, and they beat them on the kind of fluke. And everybody else, they played Purdue and Indiana, not Indiana, but they played the rest of the conference. That really isn't that good. And the Big Ten has always been that. Like since Jim Tressel has been back to Ohio State's good. Penn State's okay. No expectations on Penn State. No matter what you do, it doesn't matter what Penn State does. Because nobody ever expects them to win a championship. Nobody ever expects them to. And then you got Michigan. And then they do this round robin, and you got some years where they all three play each other. And they actually have whole seasons when all three of those fools never play each other. So, I think, listen, I think they got what they wanted out of it. It was great drama, great TV. It was good, like 1/4 of a game, because I was Lowe's, Home Depot, and the whole time, except for except for the Texas. Somebody called me. I was about to go back out. Arizona State's coming back. Oh, I'm gonna go sit down. I'm sitting in the car. I'm like, oh, whoa. What do you say, Ronald? Okay, I'm coming back inside. I was going to Lowe's, to do what? Look at dirt. I was just going to take a walk around Lowe's. So, yeah. That's what we do. But it's good for them. So
let me move on here real quick. Baseball Hall of Fame. Baseball Hall of Fame by Matt Snyder from CBS Sports. In 2025, Baseball Hall of Fame class will include 5 players: Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, Dick Allen, and Dave Parker in Cooperstown this summer. The Baseball Writers Association of America announced Tuesday night Suzuki, Sabathia, and Wagner were all named on at least 75% of their ballots. The threshold needed to gain introduction from the qualified voters. Ichiro was selected with 99.7% of the vote, making him the first Japanese player inducted to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Mariano Rivera, who was elected in 2019, remains the only unanimous inductee. Suzuki was the 1 vote shy. The next highest percentage previously belonged to Derek Jeter, Ken Griffey Jr., 99% for Jeter, 99.3 for Griffey Jr., 98.8 for Tom Seaver, and 98.8 also for Nolan Ryan. Like Suzuki, Sabathia was also a first-timer on this ballot and gets in with 86.8% of the vote. On the opposite end is Wagner, who was in his 10th and final year in the ballot. He was either going to fall off without making the Hall of Fame or get in. He makes it with 82.5% of the vote. Allen, Parker, Suzuki, Sabathia, and Wagner will be honored in a ceremony at Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York on Sunday, July 27th. Players who received at least, and then they talked about the other players who received. So they talked about the Suzuki. He was headliner with the Gaudi vote percentage after spending 9 seasons in Japan to start his professional career, during which he amassed 1,278 hits with a 353 batting average. He came to the major leagues in 2001. His first season stateside, he won Rookie of the Year and MVP while helping the Mariners to a MLB record 116 wins. But my Yankees knocked him out that year. And part of the 19 MLB season, he will rack up 10 All-Star games, 10 Gold Gloves, 3 Silver Sluggers, 2 batting titles, 3,809 hits, 1,420 runs, 509 stolen bases, and a WAR of 60. CC Sabathia, he was an ace and workhorse for a good portion of his 19-year career. The 6-time All-Star finished the top 5 of Cy Young voting 5 times, winning the honor in 2007. He topped 200 innings, 8 times and won at least 19 games 4 times. He took the ALCS MVP in 2009, also winning a World Series ring in his career. Sabathia went 251 and 161 with a 3.74 ERA, 3,093 strikeouts, and 3.577 innings. He will likely wear a Yankee cap in his induction to Cooperstown. Billy Wagner, the 5'10" Wagner, ended up with one of the greatest and most imposing closers in baseball history, long known for his menacing fastball. His 422 career saves ranked 8th in MLB history, where he dwarfs most of the closers, though was how dominant he was. His 9.03 career innings, he ended up with 2.31 ERA, a whip of 1.00 with 1,196 strikeouts. That's 11.9 Ks per 9 inning. As a point of comparison, Trevor Hoffman, a contemporary of Wagner with a higher workload and a lot more saves, who was already in the Hall of Fame, had a 2.87 ERA with a whip of 1.06 and a 9.4 strikeouts per 9. Say again?
I said, why did they bring up Trevor Hoffman?
I guess they were trying to make a comparison. Go ahead, Ryan.
Comparison. Listen, this is why I hate all of these Hall of Fame stuff. So you made the man wait 10 years and now made him a Hall of Famer? So if he was a Hall of Famer, he should have been a Hall of Famer in year 1. That's why if you're a Hall of Famer, there should be no question. If you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. There should be no question, no vote. So he didn't get the votes in the first 9 years, but got the votes in the first 10 years. So for the first 9 years, he wasn't a Hall of Famer, but now in year 10, he's a Hall of Famer. It makes no sense.
Especially when they don't have any, like, there's no quota, like, oh, you got to get 5 guys in. Some years they don't get none.
It makes
so that's so it doesn't,
right.
Like, why didn't you put him in 8 years ago? You only put one other.
Exactly.
It's a Porter's thing, and it doesn't work.
Exactly. Like it makes no sense. You're either a Hall of Famer the first year you're eligible, or you're not. That's it. Like, we should know if you're in the Hall of Fame, we should know. It should be no question. I don't even want to talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame without having Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens in it.
Ooh.
And Pete Rose in it. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to talk about it. It's ridiculous. You made this man wait 10 years to get into the Hall of Fame. So he's a Hall of Fame in 10 years, but he wasn't in the last 9 years because of a percentage vote. It's silly.
10th year to put him in, but he wasn't in the Hall of Fame when he hasn't played in 12 years. But did he do something while not playing?
Ridiculous.
Did he do something while not playing to become a Hall of Famer? This is
if you have to think about, damn, is he a Hall of Famer or not? Then you're not a Hall of Famer. If you have to think about it, you're not a Hall of Famer. In any of these sports leagues, I'm enough. All right, I hate it. I can't stand it. And you're right, DA. It's just a media. It's just a media thing. It's the writers thing. It's people with agendas. It's ridiculous.
Listen, Kevin just said it, right? And people, a lot of these things, this should. Excuse me, Auntie. This should always bother me because I like math and I'm good at math, right? So you say, okay, Kevin got 99.83%. Okay. What does that mean? All right. Darryl got 99.75%. Ichiro, one guy didn't vote for him, so he was 99.3%. What are we saying? Exactly. Somebody got half a vote from a half a person, or a little person voted? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, you know,
sounds like 99% to me.
Yeah, right. If one person's not voting for you and you're not unanimous, then you're not unanimous. But we don't care because you're in.
You're a Hall of Famer or you're not.
Come on, man. Ichiro, listen, he's a bad boy, period. She had to put the hat on because my man CC used to have his joint like this. That's right. So he's straight gangster. All right. CC was gangster. He's so gangster, y'all. He went to Milwaukee knowing that they was going to move him, right? In the middle of the season from Cleveland to Milwaukee Dude went 11-2. He knew he wasn't staying and still won 11 games. Come on, man, stop.
Yeah, Kevin, just to piggyback, this it's a joke, man. It's always been a joke for years. It's like I'm with Ryan. Yeah, I don't even know why it's not worth talking about, man. I mean, it's so stupid.
Burying the mob.
Especially the NBA Hall of Fame, and the NBA is my sport, and I can't stand it.
I just I don't know.
I wish, I definitely wish that they would do something about it. But it's all about, Ryan said it. It's the writers, it's the agenda, and you don't have Bonds in, you don't have Clemens in, you don't have Pete Rose in.
Yeah. Enough.
What we doing? I was listening to this. I forgot who I was listening to the other day. We got their stuff in there. No, they belong in the Hall of Fame.
They belong in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah. You got their stuff in there, but not them. The hypocrisy.
My socks in there, but that's what they did with your boy from Boston.
Yeah.
They put his bloody sock in there, but they won't put him in there.
Oh yeah, they don't like Kurt Schilling.
They don't like Kurt Schilling, yeah. But Kurt Schilling was the man. But we
got a bloody sock, but not him. And you're gonna do this when Ty Cobb had a Klans man on the back of his jersey. He was, his number was KKK. But it's fine. Yeah. But you don't like this guy, you're not gonna put him in.
Well, that's the thing is that they're gonna wait till the guy die and then act like
how they did Pete, man.
Then they have a party like they were so caring. It's like it's so stupid, man. But
I mean, even if you look at if you go back to the story, if I go back to the article here, was Dave Parker why you wait? Dick Allen. Why wait?
Dave Parker was a smoking home run hitting dude the day he retired.
That he was.
Period. Numbers. What Ryan is saying is the man's numbers didn't change while he was retired.
Correct. What we doing?
You're either a Hall of Famer or you're not.
The fact is they knew he was a Hall of Famer. Then they just again with the agendas and all this other stuff. Probably because he didn't give an interview to somebody and all this other foolishness.
Not like Dave Parker came up in a wheelchair last week in a Pirates game and hit a home run to get one more home run. Come on, man. Y'all gotta stop playing. This is stupid.
Yeah, man. It's
absolute joke.
It's awful, man.
And
it's awful.
Themselves. That's all. At the end of the day, I believe though it doesn't bear out a lot of times.
Right.
I think the public is getting smarter, and I think people can see BS, man. Like BS is BS, and you can see BS, man. Now, whether you want to accept it or not is on you. But at some point, people are just going to stop caring about these Hall of Fames. Well,
I think people start it now because, like Ryan said, with the agendas and all the nonsense of it, how you got the home run hitter, the king of the home runs, how you don't have him in? Yeah. And as DA always says, that was not illegal during the time. Yeah, baseball had its their part of it in creating all of this Frankenstein.
And they knew they were juicing. They needed to bring the long ball back. They knew Sosa and McGuire was juicing. And then Barry Bonds is basically saying, "Yo, I'm 10 times better than both these cats, so I'm gonna do it too." And you saw when he got on it, what he did. It's enough, man. Roger Clemens, hands down, Hall of Famer. I don't care. It's ridiculous. Rafael Palmeiro's a Hall of Famer. It's ridiculous.
Oh man,
Ralphie can stop speaking in English again because I know Ralphie.
The funny thing is that hold on, right? The funny thing is it's just that everybody's the moral police, man. We go through these eras of everybody, what's right. We care, we care for the kids, but I don't care about the kids.
But these dubs, to piggyback on that, but they only want to be moral police for people that they don't like.
Yeah.
If they like somebody, then they ain't the moral police. You know what I'm saying? Then they'll turn an eye to it. It's ridiculous.
Barry Bonds was notorious for telling reporters to go F themselves.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah. Guys, even the Hall of Famers who are already in these sports Hall of Famers don't like this stuff. You have Deion Sanders talking about man, why are we letting all these players in? These are, you know what I'm saying? Like, you even have them talking about it. Like, dude, either you're a Hall of Famer or not, man. It's either your first ballot or no ballot.
And the reality is,
first ballot or no ballot.
I'm
If
an
you don't-
Hall of Fame.
right, like you say, like it's like if you got a player that's a Hall of Famer and someone else is coming in, either that dude can stand right next to Allen Iverson, or you don't get in.
Yeah.
Or you don't get in.
Right. We know greatness when we see it. What the hell we got all these writers voting for and stuff. We see greatness. We know what greatness is.
5 greatest players every year. You don't need that. We know who they are. They know who they are.
Yeah.
I know.
Ridiculous.
Shit, man. We good to
Man.
go.
Great segment. As you see, we're very passionate about the Hall of Fame and this nonsense. We're going to go to the NBA. Ryan, you have it.
Yeah.
Let's take it to the NBA.
What's up? Yes, man. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and go to the NBA, man. Well, you know, the All-Star starters were announced today. I don't know if you guys were aware of it.
Let me know.
Yeah, who we got?
Yeah, so here's the starters. So for the West, we have LeBron. And I'm gonna say this guy for last because I don't think, even though he's a Hall of Famer, he's an all-time great, he does not deserve to be in the All-Star game. He doesn't deserve to be a starter, and he does not deserve to even be on the team. But I'm gonna tell you why he's on the team. All right, so I'm gonna save that for last. So we have LeBron, KD, SGA, and Joker in the West, and rounding out the last starter is Steph. Steph's team is not even in the play-in tournament, and he's having a down season stat wise. Steph has no business being a starter in the All. No business, because if you're trying to reward winning, I get it. He's not winning.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 11th in the West. Not even in the play-in tournament, right? Not only that, his stats are down. All his numbers are down. Right now, I get it. Now, why I get it's the popularity contest. It's still Steph, and why he's in the All-Star team is because it's in San Francisco. It's in Golden State. So the NBA. I know we always talk about the marketing aspects of all these sports. That's why he's there, but he did not earn it this time. Just did not earn it. I mean, hell, AD. Why is AD a starter? The Lakers are struggling. They're at least they're in the playoffs. It's look. You can't keep changing the narrative and moving the goalposts for certain people because you like them or for what they did in the past. This is about game 1 through 40 to 42 right now. And he does not deserve to be on the team. Just doesn't deserve it. And that's the great Steph Curry. Doesn't deserve it. He's an awesome player, but he's in San Francisco. They got it. Now in the East, I like the East team. The East, we got Brunson from your New York Knicks. Brunson made it. He made it over LaMelo, who's one of the he's balling out, right? And he made it over Cade. Cade Cunningham has been balling, guys. I don't know if y'all seen it. He's been balling. Right.
Yeah. He ain't talking to dudes.
But
he's not shaking hands. He's like kissing
the
whole ass. Everybody.
24 points scored. 24 points per game.
Right. But I'm not mad at it because LaMelo plays. If I'm gonna critique Steph Curry and say he shouldn't be on it because of his team's record, then I got to do the same thing for LaMelo, even though he has way better stats than Curry right now. You know what I'm saying? He's actually balling. You could have went Trae Young. Trae Young's leading the league in assists. You could have went with him. But we have Brunson at the point guard, at one of the guards. We have Spider Mitchell. Mitchell. So Mitchell deserves it at the 2. Cat is an all-star starter, guys. Cat has been playing phenomenal. He's like first or second in rebounding. Like I think he's averaging like 14 rebounds a game. And is it 16?
Let me get that straight. Hold on.
It's like 25 and 14
You're
or,
right.
or
It's
15, 16.
13.9, so 14. Yeah.
Yeah. So
25 and
somewhere around
14.
there.
Mhm.
Cat has been phenomenal because we always ragged on him that he's soft. He's this. He's been banging, man. He's been in the paint doing work on the defensive board without you guys having your center there and losing Hartenstein. So kudos to Cat.
Ryan, real quick. Cat Embiid out the league. Take that there. Huh? Out the league.
Yeah. Right. And then we have Giannis at one of the forward spots, and then we have Tatum. So I have no problem with the East All-Star starters. Have no problem. If I had to make a change, no, you know what? I like it because I got to reward Brunson for being third in the East, and he's still putting up great numbers. So I like what the East did.
Shout out to the Knicks for having 2 plays in the All-Star game, and that's the first time in 50 years, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's well deserved.
Those two.
Well deserved.
Question. So
well deserved. It was probably because you had the fans vote. Now I believe the fans was voting for Ball LaMelo. Like he's super popular with the fans, but it looks like the
so you think it'll be a
reserve.
Yeah.
A reserve. I'm not too sure, bro. I'm not too sure because I think they're probably gonna take Cade over him because of the record. Because Detroit is playing some good ball.
Point guard.
Yeah. No, Cade is a point guard.
Point guard.
Cade is a point guard, shooting guard. He's not. He's big, but
he's a point guard.
They're probably point guard, shooting guard, and then you're gonna probably go with Trae Young. So it's gonna be hard for LaMelo. Then you got Garland. You got Garland. You know what I'm saying? Like,
make it.
Well, no. This is just the starters has been announced. The reserves hasn't been announced yet. The reserves will be announced next week.
No, LaMelo's playing style works for the All-Star game because he plays hard, but be wilding out and trying to dish you, and he'll dribble around your head and come back, dish you, and shoot that 3 ball and be like, let's go.
Yeah. Dia, to your point about LaMelo, the fans love it, right? But like coaches, GM writers, they don't like his style. They think it's too, it's not only flashy, but they don't think it's efficient. They don't think it's
right.
They don't think it's other cat. They ain't got no one else to play. It was him and dudes from Miller.
And Miller got hurt. And matter of fact, he just got Brandon.
And he's hurt. Yeah, he's out for the season. Miller's out for the season.
On his own. Ain't no one else there.
Well, I guess you got the Rock, so you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
That's exactly what he's doing. He strips him out loose.
Yeah. And he's putting up great numbers, but they think it's empty. It's empty stats, basically. They don't think. Yeah.
The team's not good. Get him some players around.
Well, get him some vets, right? Because that's what Houston did, and now you see it with Detroit, getting Beasley, getting Tim Hardaway Jr. You know what I'm saying? Getting Tobias Harris, and now look at Detroit with that young talent with those veterans.
I don't think Charlotte understands. I don't think their front office understands what to do. To be honest with you.
Think they're retarded, D?
Yeah, bro. Because this is how long have we been at this situation, dog? We've been the Hornets has been at the same crossroad.
They missed on picks, man. They missed on picks.
Big time.
Morrison, they missed. They missed on Morrison.
You keep on getting
the kid from North Carolina couldn't shoot.
I mean, the front office have been horrible in making picks. The only thing they have gotten right is LaMelo Ball. That's about it. Everything else.
And Miller seems to be a player.
Miller's a good player, but he still hasn't, scratched the surface yet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's man, these organizations is again, man, this trash organization. Well, we might as well move on over to the NBA. I mean, these guys don't trash for a long time. There's no reason why you can't figure this out and find.
Like Ryan said, with the Hornets as I'm wearing their cap tonight. Thanks a lot.
I'm sorry, bro.
Them just missing out on picks and Adam Morrison. Man, you had to, who thought who? I mean, really?
Mike did that.
Yeah, at Gonzaga. But who says that's going to translate into the pros? And
no one from Gonzaga translates into the pros.
Ryan, carry on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Probably Suggs. Suggs is probably the only one that's stabilizing. Yeah, but he's still young in his career as well. So, and Chet translates.
That's my man.
Chet's a player, man.
What's the guy from your team? This I believe is a center.
Alperen Sengun.
He made it.
Let me tell you something right now, D-Dubs. If Alperen Sengun does not make the All-Star team, no, because the Rockets are overachieving. They're number 2 in the West, and he's their best player. He and Jalen Green, give and take. Jalen Green is having a phenomenal he just won Player of the Week, but because of his inconsistencies, he won't make the All-Star team. But Alperen Sengun should make the All-Star team, man. And I hope the coaches vote him in, man.
The Rockets
I really
are number
do.
2 in the West, and they're 29-14, man. Nobody.
And just beat Cleveland last night.
A sizzling hot Cleveland team that
they're the only D-Dubs. They're the only team in the league to have beaten OKC and Cleveland, the number 1 seeds in the NBA. They're the only team in the league to do it. Beat Cleveland and OKC.
This is your segment. I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but
no, you're good, brother. No, you're good.
This is what I like. I'm really happy that the young players are playing well. Finally getting they're getting some shine a little bit, and shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers for outstanding season, first half of the season. I know it's not over yet, but OKC, Cleveland, these teams have taken they's like, yo, forget it, it's our time now. So
man.
And I'm loving it that the young guys are coming along and putting the smackdown on some of these old cats that need to it's time. They don't have their time. It's time to see some new faces.
I like their energy, man.
Absolutely.
I like the fact that Green and Cade Cunningham got beef. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. They've had beef since they were in high school.
Good.
Yeah.
I love the tension.
Friend.
Yeah, I love the tension.
Yeah. Right, because in the first game, Jalen bammed on him, right?
Yes.
Dunked on him something crazy, right? And so and Cade just all right, man, you got me. So there's also beef there, but there's also mutual respect, right? And that's what I like, man. That's what I like.
Is missing.
Well, it's not like they're gonna go in the locker room and come back out with guns. We thought last year we said this, that Udoka, when he went to Houston, we said this last year because it was always a layup line with that team. Even before he got there, they were the most athletic team 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. It's both.
Yeah.
And once they started, he put in the defensive system last year. You just started seeing it coming by the second half of the season last year. Because the first half,
they were on a run.
They were running crazy the first half. It was just athletic, jumping over dudes, and it was like running a 3-man weave, right? And then the second half of the year was like, oh, hold on now. They guarding up. They locking dudes down. They're in the passing lanes. And then this year it was like, oh,
right.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
Right, and DA, now their offense is catching up a little bit to their defense because they were ranked number 1 and 2 in defensive rating. They slipped to 3, but their offense is now in the top 10. So now they're one of a few teams who have a defensive rating and an offensive rating in the top 10. So they're 10th in offense. So what happens is they're running more, right? So when you run more, that's going to give the other team more possession. So your defense kind of comes down, but your offense goes up. It's like a give and take type of thing. So man.
Making jumpers, and I was like, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, yeah, this is going to.
Hey, if they make jumpers, they're gonna be
real ugly.
super hard to
It's real
beat.
ugly by playoff time, man.
Right.
Real ugly, believe me.
Right.
Because they're just getting
Yeah,
better,
so-
right? So that
They're just getting better, and they're probably a year or two away, I think, from really being true contenders. But yeah, and Jabari Smith is hurt right now. They're so deep, man. Reed Shepard don't even get no minutes. You know what I mean? So Tari Eason just came back, and he's getting his feet under him. Cam Whitmore is a bucket, man. He'll come in the game for 15 minutes and have 17 points, like last night. Like they just went crazy. The Jalen Green struggled a little bit, but the bench came in and just took over the game, man. But yeah, I'm shocked. I'm not even I'm a Rockets fan, but I thought that we were probably gonna fight for the play-in again, maybe get to the 8th or 7th seed. To be number 2 at the halfway point of the season in the West is further than my wildest dreams that I thought that that they can achieve. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're gonna a couple of weeks ago, okay, they'll start losing, they'll just win, then they'll have a bad loss, right? Like they lost to Detroit on MLK Day, they lost to Detroit, but then they come back and they beat Cleveland yesterday. So so they're trying to figure it out, man. And so
what's the kid? I'm going on this note, y'all. There's a kid that used to play for Kentucky. I thought he was the best player coming out last year.
Reed Shepard?
Not Shepard. Shepard. We know Shepard can play. The other guard playing for Minnesota. That boy got the bag.
Yeah.
He scored 19 to 15 minutes last night.
Yeah, he's super quick. Yeah. And I believe both of them came off the bench.
He got the big bag, baby.
Yeah.
He got the bag. When he get in his bag, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah,
Dillingham.
I don't know what they're going to do with Minnesota because things just ain't working out there.
They got to give him more minutes.
Get rid of him, but
especially with Dante hurt. Dante has a toe injury. I think Dante could probably get traded too at the trade deadline.
Dante's coming back
to the Knicks. I've heard some Knicks fans, Marlon and Danny. I've heard them say that that's a possibility that he might be coming. He could come back.
We'll see. I mean, trade deadline.
They need bodies, though. They just need bodies.
There's one center I think that every team can go and get and make a difference, and that's Rob Williams in Portland. He's healthy now, and they're looking to trade and get assets. Right, Portland. I know Houston is interested. If the Knicks could get him for something, because the Knicks still have a bunch of picks, I would love that for the Knicks. Give you another rim runner. He blocks shots. So just in case if Mitch doesn't come back and is not right, I would look for man. If the Knicks can get Robert Williams, that would be excellent for the Knicks.
I think it's been 3 times already that they said Mitch is coming back and they got pushed back. So you're not sure what's going on with his injury.
Bro, he's basically a 7-foot big with lower body injuries, with leg injuries. Though one he can't run, so even when he is healthy, he's not going to be in shape. It's going to take him longer to get in shape. Yeah, yeah.
I got one thing for you. It's almost the end of the first half of the season for the NBA. And with that trade, the Knicks that made that trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves, who made out with that one?
Oh no, there's no doubt, it's the Knicks.
That's all I want to tell. Yada.
Cat.
I mean, because there's rumblings in Minnesota that they don't get along. So Randall. I mean, they said they're cool, but like Ant is kind of like a troll, right? Like he just has so much fun and he gets on everybody. So I don't know if it was in in practice that they were going at each other. And he said that Randall plays like he plays in jeans, which is kind of true. Yeah. Yeah, he like man, it look like you hoop like you look like you playing like you hooping jeans. So, but he's just fun like that.
The young nephew talking to the uncle. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, but one thing I do like about Cat, man, he does makes himself accountable. He knows he's the leader of the team. And but he has to get everybody on the same page, man. And to answer your question, D-Dubs, like it's a no-brainer, man. The Knicks won that trade.
Remember the rumblings. No.
Oh no, of
I
course.
just want to put it out there. I mean, first half.
Right, because the whole thing was Cat was soft,
and I kept on saying
Cat has been far. Now I will say this: the Knicks defense is atrocious.
Oh yeah,
that's 100%.
Yes,
yeah,
it's atrocious. And even though you have Anunoby, who's a great wing defender, Bridges, great wing defender, Hart is a good defender,
great, but
right?
They need that center though. They need
no. What happens is your front and your back are horrible defenders. Brunson's too small; he can't stay in front of anybody. They put him in screening row. People, all they do is attack Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Like so when you have Brunson getting blown by, and then you have Cat, who's like I said, Cat. I think Cat is more of a good help defender, but he's not gonna help. He's not gonna. I mean, like when they played Houston. I mean, Sengun went nuts on him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is the thing. This is why I said that they got. I hope that Mitch could come back because they need that guy at that rim, a rim protector, to make sure once they get past. Okay, we know they're gonna get past Brunson, and the help defender, if he so happens to beat Cat, somebody
right,
did,
and then when you get by Brunson, you might think, well, yeah, but we still have Hart and OG and Bridges, but they're on the wings because they're playing wings, so they have to defend the wing. So now it's basically your defense is
stretch.
The head of the snake, Brunson, and then the tail in Cat, and that's the weakness. And not only that, we minutes police, and not only that, they play a ton of minutes.
That's my only concern with the Knicks, man. That's it.
The other night, I saw a meme, and it says that, hey, all you minutes police, hey, Tibbs played 2 more players.
Thank God. I appreciate it, man. That's all I'm asking for. I'm having fun with that minute police. That was funny, though.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Man, Ron, is that all you got?
Yeah. No, I want to say a shout out to the new coach who took over from Mike Brown, Sacramento. They've been balling. Yes. They've been balling. My man, the new coach who played for Sacramento. They've been balling, man. So they look like they've turned a corner, and now it looks like maybe Fox is not going to be traded. You know what I mean? So it was looking sketchy.
Is quiet down. I haven't heard nothing no more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because they've been on one, man. They were down by like 18 points last night to Minnesota. I mean to Golden State. Came back and won the game.
Three-game winning streak right now. So
yeah, I think he's won like 10 out of 12 games. I think he's like 10-2.
Yeah, shout out to Doug Christie, man, for turning.
Doug Christie, exactly.
Turning that around, man. Yeah. Anything else, Ryan, before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Just on the basketball tip, tonight was supposed to be women's basketball. South Carolina, Dawn Staley versus Kim Mulkey, LSU team, number 2 versus number 5. But because of the weather, it was supposed to be tonight, but it got postponed till tomorrow, matinee game at 5. So tomorrow, ESPN at 5. Tune in, Kim Mulkey, Dawn Staley, South Carolina women versus LSU women. Don't miss that game. It was supposed to be tonight, but tomorrow at 5 on ESPN.
Is Doug Christie's wife?
Yeah.
With him when he's coaching?
AD. I was thinking the same.
She need to be.
Get out.
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing.
DA, she needs to be because she's a trooper. When they got into that brawl, she was swinging that purse like I don't know what, bro. She was ready for all the smoke. I loved it, man. She's like, ain't nobody messing with my man. She was. It looked like she's done that before. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it looked like okay, this is just normal for them. Yeah, she was swinging, boy. Yeah, good call.
Doug, where your wife at right there?
She probably in practice getting them right.
She goes
with orange slices and cookies. She's she's the team mom.
Yeah, man.
Hey, real quick, Kev, and Ryan, Boston and Lakers tonight. Anything?
Nothing. Forget that, man. Come on.
Yeah, Boston Lakers. That's always gonna be a good game. You know what I'm saying? But
trash, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think that's gonna be a good game because
Yeah.
now, teams got to start making their move, man. You can't get too far behind in these standings, man. You don't want to be in that playing game. You do not want to. You don't not want to be a one and done type scenario.
I know you say they trash, but they keep on putting them on TNT. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, they got nothing else to do. They trash, man.
I mean, they could have put Sacramento, Denver on, but
everybody loved the king.
Yeah.
Stop, Ryan. Anything else?
Hey, man, yeah. No, man. That's it, man.
Next week,
that's
because
it.
we ran out of time today, we're going to talk about the 3-on-3 tournament. I know that's going on. We didn't get a chance because of time. We'll make sure we get.
Oh, the Arrival that Dan hates. Dan said it was trash. I'm like, Dan, geez, give it a chance, man. God, I know Caitlin Clark's not playing it, but geez, that's trash.
Captain Kate, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to my dude Dan. Dan, what up? Yeah.
Captain Kate. You know?
Party shots before we get out of here. Great show tonight, guys. Great show.
Great show, fellas.
DA, what you got for us before we get out of here, man? Well, you get out of here.
Yeah, he gotta go.
Y'all just be glad I made it. See, y'all
he did, man. You did a good job, brother.
Hey, I was walking the ledge.
Yeah.
I walked the line.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Cash.
All right, Johnny Cash.
All right, Johnny. Go ahead.
Yeah. I walked the line.
He's singing now. Yeah. Ryan, go ahead with yours, man.
Nah, man. Just good show as usual, guys. Sports chasers, you know what I'm saying? We in here. And enjoy your sports. But like I said, man, catch that LSU South Carolina women's game.
That's tomorrow night, Friday night.
Yeah, that's 5 o'clock. Yeah, it was tonight, but 5 o'clock tomorrow. 5 o'clock tomorrow on ESPN.
Appreciate that. Hey, Kev, I ain't got nothing too heavy other than enjoy your sports this weekend. NFC, AFC championship games. That should be good.
Oh yeah, who y'all got on that?
Should be good. Hey, we might as well go around the horn real quick. Who you got?
Yeah,
Kev,
Philly.
Listen,
Philly and the Cheaters. Oh, I mean Kansas City. Sorry,
Kansas City and the Eagles for you, DA. Ryan, go ahead. What you got?
I'm going Buffalo, and I am not picking against that rookie.
Going with Jaden.
If I'm going with if the temperature holds up, if it's not like a snowstorm, he's going to win the game. That kid is poised. That kid's make all the right plays. He's light years ahead of where I thought he would be. He's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. But I think Buffalo is going to give it to Kansas City. For some reason, I think Buffalo.
So.
Yeah,
I hope so.
For some reason, I think it's just Buffalo's time.
I'm with Ryan. Ryan, Buffalo, and absolutely the Washington Commanders. I think they get it done. And it'll be
I just hope the weather's conducive for them to win.
The only reason I don't think Washington can beat Philadelphia is because I don't think he's going to be on the field enough. I don't think they can stop Saquon. So I think Saquon is going to run the ball a lot.
But here's a nugget for you. Washington leads the league in time of possession.
But it ain't going to be against this team. Saquon.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like if it's like it's a snowstorm, they're just gonna run the ball with Saquon, like you said. And their offensive line is like ridiculous. You know what I mean? So
regardless, man. Like their offensive line is just that.
And Jalen Hurts is banged up. So let's see. Yes, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He got the man. So.
Yeah. Kev, I think I got Philadelphia and the Chiefs. I'm not betting against the Chiefs until somebody knocks them off. I'm praying that Buffalo knocks them off. Just to be clear. I'm praying that Buffalo. Yeah, but I until the referees blow the whistle against that guy, that offensive lineman on the right that keeps on moving, and until they stop giving Mahomes the flopping calls, then it's going to be the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Yeah.
The thing is,
go ahead, bro. Ryan. I'll finish up.
No, the thing is with Mahomes, man, he just makes every right play at the right time.
That he does.
Time.
It's hard.
He's gonna make every right play.
The refs are calling for him. So.
But even with that, DA, like if it's a third and 7, not only is he gonna make the pass, he'll get the 7.5 yards to keep
But not
the
only
chains
that,
moving.
Ryan, right? But
Running
Kelsey
the ball.
somehow becomes
It's
open all the time.
Always open.
Wide open, not just open, wide open.
That right tackle's holding. So,
We talked about
But this is the problem, man. I mean, this guy he's just open, and I understand that Buffalo beat him this year in the regular season. That's fine.
Is that the same? Is that the same right tackle that always moves early or something like that? Holy crap!
All the time, never gets called. But
it won't ever.
But if the Buffalo coach is smart, he'll point that out. Look, man, y'all gotta call that stuff.
Nephew, it's not gonna happen. So it's just.
Yeah.
Buffalo,
wait, hold on. Did we confirm that?
down.
Yo, this guy's on meds, Kev. Yo, take it away.
Jawan Taylor, the guy that's
Yeah.
My part shot. D-Dub, you got your part shot for?
Yo, just enjoy the games this weekend. Everybody be safe out there. Have a good one. Appreciate you watching. And like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff.
Love some haters.
See you next week.
Yeah,
Monday.
My party shop is real quick. Hey, shout out to the St. John's Red Storm. They cracked the top 20. Awesome game they played against Xavier last night. They went to overtime, beat Xavier, man. And there was some rumblings early in the year about St. John's not being in the top, and they've been playing well.
They're like Pretty Ricky.
Well, Red Storm.
Rick Pitino's a OG, man.
Yeah, they
Pretty
won
Ricky. What they call him? Pretty Ricky.
They won 6 in a row. So shout out to the Johnnies, man. Like D-Dub said, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell for all the notifications. Enjoy all your sports this weekend, man. And make sure wherever you're at in the Northeast or in the country, make sure you bundle up, stay warm. Drink your vitamins.
Yeah. Shout outs to the people out west too. Hold your head, man, because more fires starting up. It's crazy out there.
More fires came again?
Around San Diego, they were saying. So
San Diego.
That's got to be arson, bro. That's got to be arson, bro.
Yeah, near San Diego.
That far down?
Jesus.
You know how far? Y'all know exactly how far the fire is in the. That's driving. It takes like 10 hours to drive California, man. That's like 10 hours away from the original fires, man.
It's crazy. That's got to be arson.
Definitely. But anyway, on a higher note, let's not. No,
yeah.
Sorry, man. She brought the show down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Living in the heart.
I was just trying to show some love.
Keep singing. Keep praying for those out there, man. Yo, make sure you check it out. Also, before we go, just make sure you hit us up on all social media platforms. That's all I had to say. So, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. your host and moderator. For Dow D. Does Warren, for the DA, who's on medicine, Ryan Souza, for Mike Mills, and
living in the heart of America.
Yeah.
I get it. For Dan, the hockey dude. This is the Sports Chasers podcast, man.
You guys are crazy.
Be good, be great. Peace.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms, and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.